Venus, a planet associated with wealth, the planet associated with love, friendship, and goodness, is moving into Capricorn, and she's going to do some unusually positive things while she travels through the Earth sign of Capricorn between January the 23rd and February the 16th. And I'm delighted to say I'm looking forward to it because we've had a lot of shitstorms in our sky lately, guys, and this is one of the bright spots for sure. As she moves into Capricorn, she's going to flow to Saturn, flow to Jupiter, flow to Uranus, and really exciting, form a grand trine with the asteroid Orcus. And that's going to be so exciting around, oh, what's the date I wrote down? Around the 7th of the month of February. And that could bring us unexpected prosperity, wealth, or bounty in each of our lives. And you're going to listen today, I hope, for your sun, moon, and most accurate rising sign, but please listen to all three because your sun can be about father figures, career and purpose, mother figures, moon, home, safety needs, and your body. So nonetheless, most of Venus's journey through the sign of Capricorn, where she's a boss babe with highly refined taste, taking cue from Lord Saturn, who owns that part of the sky. That's his real estate. She's really going to try her best to bring us almost everything good that she can possibly deliver to our doorsteps, collectively and individually. But she also has a couple of gnarly episodes as well, particularly the square to the nodes of fate. And that square, the south node, north node of the moon, where eclipses happen, is going to be rather intense. It's also the south node in her sign of Libra, so she has some dominion over it. But that square energy to the nodes of fate is happening around the 4th to the 6th of February. I kind of think she's doing some difficult energies and then rewarding us with a surprise, Uranus, unexpected bonus points on the game board. Now, also, I'm going to show you the sky and we're going to go through this. In the very beginning of this, around the 26th, 27th of January, she does form what's called a mini grand trine. It kind of looks like a mini triangle. And what she's doing is she's flowing to Saturn and she's flowing to Jupiter. And that's creating a very lucky energy. I am going to cover that in depth, okay, in my week ahead video, which will come out on Monday, oh my God, whatever day it is, bring come back online. Monday the 22nd or so of the month of January. I'm recording this early on January 16th for my Patreon community. By the way, they get everything early before you guys, no ads as well. And it's for $5 as minimum. For the minimum entry point, you get that $5 a month early access ad free. But I will say one thing about this mini grand trine, I also covered in my 2024 all signs month of January video. So if you want to go back and listen to that now, or after you listen to this, you can go get a little heads up on it. I'm going to dive much deeper into this powerful mini grand trine with Saturn in Pisces, Jupiter in Taurus, co-present with Uranus, Venus in Capricorn. I'm going to dive a lot more into that in the week ahead video that comes out every Monday for each sign. So let's get going and let's talk about the sky, and let me show you the sky as well. So let's start off with the picture of the sky. Oh, by the way, if you don't know this, my 2024 videos, All Signs bundle, is still for sale until the end of January for $59. Helps me buy mic and equipment. That's a PDF with links to hidden videos. Each of those videos is about 75 to 90 minutes long. And you can listen for your sun, moon, and rising, share with friends and family, kids and relatives, whoever you want. And so it's kind of a fun little package to buy. And it won't ever be public. Okay, I never publish those long form videos for each sign in 2024. So it's detailed predictive content. So go ahead, grab it down below if it is something that you're interested in. And oh, by the way, my name is Lori Lothy, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. I love the fixed stars and minor asteroids. I'm really trying to help you time your best life using astrology as a navigational tool. So that's me. That's what I do. That's who I am. Let's get rolling. Yes, I do readings. People ask me all the time, but I'm booked up right now. You can book me next December if you want. I will be opening limited summer spots, though, in June, July, into August. And if you want to get into any of those spots, there is a waitlist link under my description box. And Patreon community got early dibs. So in January, February, for spots that I had coming up this year that I had left open for them. So again, there's some more perks to being a Patreon member, at my Patreon. All right, guys, here's the sky. Here you can see it. I've already cued it for what's going on later on. That's 19 degrees Venus flowing to Uranus at 19 degrees, flowing to Orcus down here. But I want to show you the whole picture before we get to that. So let's go back and just watch her move. And hopefully you guys are able to notice that she's in Capricorn. Now I've got it queued here for Cancer rising, right? But it's really doesn't matter where it is. Let's make it Aries so that the chart doesn't move around a bit. I'm going to change the sign to Aries here. Lock and loaded at Aries. All right, 0 Aries instead. And here we go. All right, so here we have Venus, right? Quite obviously sitting at 0 degrees of Capricorn on the 23rd. It doesn't matter exactly what time she does this. All right, it doesn't really matter. I do love that she's with, a star coming up on the night on the my brain on the 7th when she does that trine to Uranus, by the way, Sheliac, which is a part of the Lyre of Orpheus and is a very powerful and positive star. So we see her doing so much goodness. I'm so glad she's doing so many good things because we need it. The world needs it. She's in charge of peace, right? She could bring peace in the world if she has her way. All right, so here she is. And you can see that she's at 0 degrees. And when the first thing she does when she gets in there is just wait to meet with who? Saturn and Jupiter, so she can form what is called a miniature grand trine. And now we see that around the 27th, 28th, it's forming 26th, 27th, 28th, and it's forming pretty exact 6 degrees, 6 degrees, 6 degrees, as you can see, 6-degree Venus, top of the sky, Saturn 6 degrees of Pisces, direct, everybody's direct, and Jupiter in direct motion since December 31st or 30th, also in forming this story. And that looks like very positive stuff. And so I will put that video out. I promise you, if you want to subscribe to my channel, like and hit the notification bell. This exact trine is forming on Sunday. Oh, yes, Sunday the 28th. So yes, I will have it out in time for you guys to get that video. I'll have it out like on Monday the 22nd or 21st. So you'll be able to anticipate more details on that. As she moves forward, we can watch her at the top of the sky. Keep your eye on the top of the sky. Venus is up there. She's blue and she looks like a circle with a cross underneath it. And she's moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. And she's up there with Mars, who's going to be visible in the sky after the 27th. I'll have a whole video on that. And she's moving forward. And now she's at 16 degrees of Capricorn. And you can see the nodes of fate, right, are at 17 degrees. So we're going to see around the 5th, the building of some tension with the nodes of destiny or fate. And as she continues forward, because we're starting there with February 5th, you might write that down if you want. She hits on February 6th, 17 degrees. The nodes are at 17 degrees. This is a very, interestingly intense time. I'd say you'll probably feel it for the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th of February even, where she's coming into conflict or difficult conversations with the nodes. Now, I know the nodes are math points, but in Indian astrology, they're actually like planetary bodies and they have weight and heft. And I've noticed they act like planetary bodies and have weight and heft. Now, when she squares the nodes of fate, it just means something that Venus cares about, something that's very destined or fated or important, a karmic even, is going to occur in each of our lives. And it's going to occur where she sits, which is in Capricorn. But she's looking at the South Node in her house, which is asking for a loss, a surrender, a let go in the Libra part of your sky. And you can see that the North Node pushes into Aries and is asking for some expansion, some kind of, evolutionary impulse to grab for something, to get something in the Aries part of your sky. Individually, we're all going to have different stories. And she's having a bit of a tete-a-tete here with these guys. And she's trying to come into a conversation to resolve some kind of tension. This could be a person. Venus can look like a woman in your life, for example, like for an Aries rising, a female in the workplace, and some tension with regards to, 7th and first house matters. But watch this. She's at 17 degrees, and you can see that with Uranus at 19 degrees, she's coming into a relationship to Uranus that is flowing. And it's called a trine, and this energy can open up opportunity, some really nice opportunity here to do with what Uranus wants to surprise you with. Expect the unexpected. That's bounteous and prosperous. Jupiter's there in your Taurus part of your sky. Like for an Aries, it would be a money positive development, right? So we're all different. So we all have different skies. So she's building that up. It is pretty exact on February 6th and February 7th, and she's building it up during the entire square of the nodes of fate. So what do I think this means? I think she's going to bring us a fated opportunity that's unexpected or surprising or exhilarating that has to do with Jupiter, luck, and bounty, expansion, and growth. I think the nodes of fate story, which is, its own entity, is also connected, because it's almost like you see this triangle of this formation. Well, she's also beaming energy to Uranus. So we'll get into that in your individual signs already. And I want to mention that there's also Orcus. So let me annotate that for you. And we're seeing like the Orcus pit is nice and tight, tight enough that I care about it to use it. So let's move Venus into 3 degrees orb is good enough for me. Annotation. Okay, Orcus, 15, almost 16 degrees, right? Rounded up. Venus up here at 16 degrees. And of course, Uranus at here, 19 degrees. And that forms a nice trine. It's called a grand trine. It's very lucky, very flowy, very easy, very gentle, but positive energy. And because Jupiter's watching over here and he's in Venus's sign, right? Jupiter is in Taurus. She owns the real estate. He's trying to please her. He's trying to get her approval as in terms of what he can do in her house. So I'd say that in this regard, he wants to provide something, a lucky opportunity, bounty, expansion, growth, whatever, something really good. Orcus is a god of the underworld in Etruscan lore, but he's also a wealth god. So we're going to say money, wealth, prosperity, yay. Over here, unexpected bounty here in the Taurus part. That's your Virgo part of your sky, by the way. If you don't know what that sign is, that's a Virgo part of your real estate, Earth trine. And she's up in Capricorn with a now visible and exalted Mars, who's also got some superpowers up there. The last thing I want to say about this before we do all signs is that this is Saturn, and he's literally the owner of the house of Capricorn. And he's approving of her as well, because he sextiles her all through the month in a broad sextile. So he's watching over her and suggesting she get lickety split, doing some really good stuff in his house. He's also watching Mars, who's, exalted there. So we have a very, very positive sky coming up here. Again, it's going to be mostly around, I think, the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of the month, we can expect some kind of positive surprise. Lastly, Neptune is going to be sextiling Venus on the date, on the 13th of the month of February, just before she leaves on the 16th and gets the hell out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So there can be some kind of dreamy, spiritual, uplifting, creative, soulmatey vibe going on for a lot of us around that time. I'll be doing a separate video on that because it's going to impact you in your Pisces part of your sky and in your Capricorn part of your sky. And it could vary, like a dream come true, a romantic engagement come true, that kind of thing. Let's get rid of this, clear all drawings. And we're going to do all signs. And the last thing I want to do before we hit the all signs, by the way, is share something with you from Renn Butler's Archetypal Universe. Gotta love this book because I have a link to it in my description box. I use it a lot. He's one of my teachers and colleagues. I've learned archetypal astrology with him. Although I am Hellenistic and Babylonian kind of thing, mostly Hellenistic, I do love this archetypal stuff. So Venus, when she engages with Uranus, what does he say about that in this particularly amazing book? Okay, so it's positive. It's an earth trine. And don't forget, it's hooking up with Orcus in a grand trine, which is wealth and power and wealth. And it's relationship breakthroughs, a rebirth of love and friendship, Venus Uranus, feelings of romantic electricity and excitement, a colorful, eccentric sense of style, fun, and sparkle, social sparkle. Alrighty, now, it's a positive energy, so we're not going to read the shadow quality. So a few more words here. The magic of love, feelings of rebirth in friendship and relationships. A successful marriage requires falling in love many times, always with the same person. Oh, I love that. You can fall back in love with the one you're with. That's a quote from someone who's born with a Venus-Uranus activity. His name is Mignon McLaughlin. Cravings for social stimulation, vivacious nature, bubbly effervescence, sparkling appeal, the life of the party, friendly chance encounters, magic moments, happy surprises. I'm going to call this video Happy Surprises, beautiful energies. My heart is like a singing bird, Christina Rossetti, Venus Uranus in her chart. And okay, we're going with it. Happy surprises. So let's talk about your happy surprise that can involve wealth and prosperity as well. Coming up for all of us, or each of us, around February 6th to the 8th, let's just say, or let's go February 4th to the 7th or so. You're going to feel this energy. Let's get into the all signs portion. Okay, guys, let's get going. Let's start with the sign of Aries. Ready, set, rolling. And I want to tell you about Sheliac as well. And I forgot to do that. So Sheliac is a star that's associated with good things, and it's connected to where Venus is sitting. The star is at 19 degrees of Capricorn. And somehow this chart's a little ahead of time. So let's move it back by a day. And I'm going to just read a delineation for this star. So I like that she's on such a positive star when we need a lot of positivity in the world as she flows in an earth trine, of course, to Uranus, happy surprises, and as well to Orcus, maybe surprises to do with wealth. So according to the notes on the back of my software, Sheliac, Sheliak, is a star of the constellation Lyra, the lyre or harp, oriented to beauty, harmony, and artistic creativity. Strong, assertive, spurring us on to be creative and to create, innovative, inventive. So there we go. Creative, harmonious, beauty, artistic, creative, inventive, yay energies that the star is normally associated with. Okay, so back to you. And this is not a long video. None of my Aries videos are, but you know that I break down these transits in the weekly Monday forecast every month with lots of detail. So you can also, just subscribe and be on that monthly forecast. A weekly forecast, I mean. Okay, so number one, you have this energy of Aries, sun, moon, and rising, in which Venus is flowing to your money house. And this is, your earnings and resources and possessions. It's also foods that you ingest and things you put in your mouth. And it has to do with speech and also with your values and what you value in life. Now, your resources are here, though. This is definitely where you make money or bring money and things you need to you, right? Like you need food, shelter, and water. You need money to survive. And so this is your basic needs house of those resources. And what I love about what Venus is up to this month, don't forget earlier in the month, as I mentioned, around, what was the date of that trine? Around the 27th to the 29th, Venus is going to form a mini grand trine to, of course, Jupiter. And that can be some kind of abundance coming through for you, some kind of unexpected, you still have Uranus, or exhilarating financial abundance, basically. And it can even eventually let you pay off some debts over here or acquire some kind of new job or work opportunity that's more prosperous. But let's talk about the big deal one. That's what we're focused on. And that is that Venus will be connecting around the 7th of February, give or take a couple of days on either side, very tightly connecting to a happy surprise for Uranus in your second house of finances and earnings and money. And so I'm expecting either a career opportunity that really takes off or some kind of unexpected bonus points in your raises, promotions, especially with Orcus in the workhouse, right? This is your work. So it's the Artha houses for your work and your money success. So work and money success, happy surprises building all month. First at the end of January 27th to the 30th, and then a second wave of excitement coming through from good old Venus at the top of your sky. This is so positive. Coming through at the top of the sky around the 7th of the month, give or take a day on either side. I mentioned earlier she is squaring the nodes of fate. I won't be going into that too much today. I'm saving that for the week ahead video at that point. But I would say, you might have some tension despite all this financial success with somebody in your life that you consider significant, like your marriage partner. Okay, like your significant business partners, like someone who matters to you. So, well, there's that tension going on. There's all this money stuff going on that's quite positive as well. And I'll do more of Venus squaring the nodes in a separate video on my channel. And we move into the next. Oh, I'm moving by day. Ugh. Like, you hear what I just, me and the software, we don't always get along. Hours. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. It's a story here of Venus flowing from the ninth house of academics, universities, book publishing, ninth house of foreign lands and shores, the third marriage partner. Okay, the second marriage partner is your second house. I didn't say that, but anyway, things to do with courts and legal matters, things to do with spirituality and your faith and what you believe, including religions. Okay, so Venus is up there in that ninth house, and she says something around the 27th to the 30th of January. Let me create a little bit of flow, a little bit of glow in terms of flowing to Jupiter in the house house of you are lucky in all those ninth house things I just mentioned. But also we can see that as time progresses and she moves closer to the 7th of February, then we get a happy surprise. And you are literally holding the Cracker Jack box here in your hand. Uranus is the guy who's also about freedom, also about innovation, invention, and rebellion. But you are these things, but you're also lucky, right? Jupiter's in the house of you. So you could get a lucky travel opportunity to a foreign country, a lucky break when it comes to legal court matters, a lucky break when it comes to academic conditions and settings, like if you're a student, especially, higher education. Getting accepted at your favorite school. February is, when a lot of applications are sent out to schools, or maybe even you hear back from them, early acceptance for if you're young. Jupiter is also flowing to, of course, not Jupiter, Uranus and Venus are flowing to Orcus, the Etruscan god of wealth, in a money luck house, in a house to do with, you could get a very lucky trip opportunity. Or you could also have a romantic leisure trip opportunity, but you can also get some money, some wealth coming through here. And, Venus, she's kind of like, okay, she's hooked up to Saturn in the house of windfalls and pennies from heaven. She has to take orders from him. Jupiter's trying to please her. He wants you to be happy. I don't know. Looks like a little bit of a financial luck break going on here, something positive around the 7th. It surprises you that it's happy and you're really delighted with it. Certainly, if you're single and you're looking for love, maybe you can meet a very profound and Etruscan god of the underworld, deep but powerful, power of love, new relationship, or a current relationship that you're in can power up to a new level of the power of love, right? To a new level of real deep connection to that person. And finally, I don't know, sometimes when I see Venus up in the 9th house, it could be out picturing as a female, someone like a spiritual teacher, guide, mentor, psychologist, giving you some happy surprise information or news or developments around February 7th. But it is also connected to your sexuality and your romance with Orcus in the 5th house. So a lot of this looks like you could get to meet some incredibly powerful travel opportunity or money luck opportunity. A ninth house is a wealth house in its own. It's Lakshmi in Indian astrology. It has to do with luck itself and wealth and abundance. So it looks like a bit of a potential wealth and abundance turning point, a happy surprise around February the 7th. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. So here what you have is that you have Venus flowing and moving through your 8th house of chunky money. Now that money is money you don't necessarily earn. That's money you're going to get because, you could win it. You could have a tax rebate. You have insurance payout. Your spouse's money does well and you receive it, an inheritance, royalty or passive income, that kind of stuff. So this money house, your 8th house, is being blessed by Venus. Don't forget, in the beginning, I said it's January 23rd to February 16th, but it is going to be a very lovely transit because Venus does flow to Jupiter, and you could be getting some increase of your revenue through foreign countries, foreign lands, and foreign shores throughout this transit of January 23rd to February 16th. And at the same time, she's also going to provide you with a happy surprise. So look to the 27th to the 30th of January for the beginning of a sense of bounteous financial goodness coming through career matters, right? Saturn in the 10th, career reputation matters. But then as we move forward into the happy surprise, something delightful wants to occur around February 7th, give or take a few days, can involve people from international shores, international countries, foreign lands, maybe something good popping on your PayPal Stripe accounts if you do revenue that way. But the Etruscan god of the underworld, who signifies wealth, is in that 4th house of home, property, and real estate. And some of you may have opportunities to wealth up or be lucky or have something good happen when it comes to buying or selling property. Okay. An opportunity may emerge for you around February the 7th, give or take a few days. And also maybe around rental opportunities as well. Second of all, I think with this Etruscan god of wealth in the 4th house, some of you may receive money from your mom or dad or somebody up your family line because it's a legacy wealth house. And you have Venus in the house of that chunky money. So look to February 7th for some unexpected money to come your way. You could also look, by the way, with Saturn in the 10th house, is you're going to up level in the work situation and they're going to do something like give you a sign-on bonus or a severance package or opportunity to buy into the company or something like that around February the 7th. Unexpectedly, though, right? All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. This is a story for you where you get to see the energy of Venus in your house of significant love and marriage partners, business partners, and clients, audience, and all the people you serve. Venus is going to glow you up here anyway, from January 23rd to February 16th, but she's particularly useful and helpful around the 27th to the 30th of January. She begins to form a mini trine and connects with Jupiter in the house of the elder sibling, the house of great gains in your career. It's the 11th house matters. Certainly, you could get a little bit of financial assistance or blessings at the end of January, through to maybe early February from an elder sibling or somebody who wants to support your outreach in the world, or somebody who wants to help you succeed in your audience, marketplace, client stories. But as we move forward and we get into the next narrative, there's a happy surprise. And it does connect to maybe a happy surprise for trips or travel. The Etruscan god of the underworld is opening up a gateway, maybe of a leisure trip or what do you call it? Like a luxury trip or something like that. Connected to a sibling, especially older, or connected to something to do with your audience marketplace or your marriage partner. Now, if you're not traveling with Orcus in the third house, you're developing or creating wealth through your online world around this time, and there's a happy boost or bump or surprise, or even in the neighborhood. Maybe you have a local brick and mortar store or something, but you're getting a financial boost here. Yeah, of some sort around the 7th of February. And, again, it could be about your marriage partner and what they're getting. A lot of this can also involve siblings, younger and older for you, and where this money boost or good boost is coming from. And I keep saying money just because, Jupiter in the 11th house can bring you unexpected windfalls or bounty financially. And, to me, it feels a lot like, especially with Mars co-present with Venus, a bit of money, happy money surprises around February 7th, give or take a few days on either side. All right, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising with Venus, January 23rd to February 16th, navigating your sixth house of work and health routines. So those things are on the menu, and you may improve your health, find more pleasurable ways to work out. You may have more fun at work. You may even get into some kind of ability to get a raise or promotion or accolades in the work. You're really liked at this point. It's going to be good for the work you do in the world. But at the same time, early on, January 27th to say February 1st, there's a lot of energy between Jupiter and Venus. And that can look like definitely getting a new job that you really want, getting that promotion or raise, getting some kind of extra success boost in your work and career. And as she moves to the happy surprise around February 7th, that looks like definitely more money. So you're getting a job that pays you more than you've ever had. Your current employer or job situation increases and you get more money. I mean, it's just an upgrade. If you're self-employed, the same thing applies, right? It's just an upgrade in your finances, work, and reputation space, like a happy surprise around February the 7th. And I just want to roll with it, man. This is Artha houses, so money and career success increasing with a happy ending, happy surprise vibration around February the 7th. Okay, so Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. It looks to me like you've got this seriousness of Orcus, the wealth god of the Etruscans in the house of you. You are owning an idea of wealth. Yeah, he's retrograde. Doesn't matter. He's like, here he is. Are you going to be powerful? Are you going to be wealthy? It's up to you to figure that out. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, when Venus is traveling then from January 23rd to February 16th through your fifth house, it can be a fertility transit if you do not want to have a baby and you're an egg-bearing female. I hate that word, but I'm just being facetious. If you're a woman, be careful. If you're a man, tell your partner to be careful. So there can be fertility on steroids between January 23rd and February 16th. Also, if you're creative, artistic, or entrepreneurial, this is going to glow that up, and your sex life can turn into something much more happy. We've got an exalted Mars visible here, and Venus, the cosmic lover, is chasing his tail. This can be a turning point increase in your sex life in a good way. And so keep that in mind, especially, knowing that when Venus is in the fifth house, she's in the house of her joy. She's very powerful here. She wants to bring you more joy, fun, play, and pleasure. She wants to upgrade you. And leisure trips and travel can happen while she's here as well. Now, in fun times and social times. Now, also, there is this energy around the happy surprise of February the 7th. And that's going to be definitely looking like an opportunity for travel. I mean, even with her flow to Jupiter, happy surprises to do with travel agendas are on the menu. However, the other thing that can happen with Orcus in the house of you and Venus in the fifth house and Jupiter and Uranus in the ninth house, forming that big Earth trine, is that you could have some sort of unexpected windfall, unexpected money, luck. And, might require judicial matters to, finally get the money that you want. So courts can rule in your favor, or father figures might just hand you some money. There's so many ways it could play out. And she is with Mars exalted, who rules your house of inheritances. So maybe you're going to get some kind of news of a bequeathment, some good things happening for your finances in that way around the 7th. And business partnerships are favored, and alliances with clients or business partners are favored for you around the last, like January 27th to February 1st, too, because Saturn gets into the mix of a mini grand trine. Yeah. And you're going to have a happy surprise about academic environments that makes you feel more powerful. Like maybe you get, accepted at your favorite school, you get a big upgrade in your grades, or something good is happening there as well. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. This is an energy of Venus between January 23rd and February 16th, moving through your fourth house. Really good for land, home, property, renting a property, selling a property, renovating and beautifying a property. Also, maybe anything to do, especially the 27th of January to February 1st, to definitely be able to lease a property out, or for you to lease, like you be a tenant and yay you, or you be a landlord, yay you. That's really good, the 27th to February 1st. Venus is in the fourth house. A female may visit you and you'll have a lot of fun with that person, or you may be having a lot of pleasure, fun, and joy and social activity in your home. But beautifying, painting, decorating, all of that, designing your home, yeah, that can happen too, January 23rd to February 16th. On January 27th, about February 1st, there's a lot of energy between Venus and Saturn and Jupiter that can look like some kind of opportunity to sell a property, to rent a property, to prosper through those mechanisms for sure. And then later on, there's a very happy surprise. And if you want a pet, if you're like looking for a pet and you're a Libra, things look really sweet. January 27th to February 1st, all systems go to receive a pet, get a pet, buy a pet. Now, on February 7th, and give or take a couple of days on either side, Venus is going to give you a happy surprise as she loves up Uranus in the chunky money house. Who knows? You're under an inheritance transit, right? Jupiter Uranus is to the end of May. So you may have a popping of some inheritance, excuse me, hiccups, a news of inheritance, news of bequeathments. You may also have some like a tax rebate or some insurance payout come through that you're really hoping for and you're surprised it happened, or some kind of unexpected, like a pop of a stock you're invested in. So things are looking good for unexpected surprises in your finances in a positive way, not the money you earn in your day-to-day work, but rather some kind of unexpected chunk of money. Mortgages and finances and refinances are all finance brokers, brokerage, what do you call those things? Mortgage broker stuff, all very good for you, especially around February the 7th. But there's a happy surprise, and it could look like an unexpected financial bounty connected to something you're doing in your home, from your home, or connected to property and real estate itself. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a story where you have, Venus from, January 23rd to February 16th, moving through Capricorn. And that's your third house and is a travel house. Now, Mars is there and exalted and visible. And he's risen as around the January 27th. So this looks for some of you Scorpios like a wonderful travel opportunity. Venus loves leisure, pleasure, travel, and Mars loves just to take adventures. But it can also be even something like getting a new car, buying a new car. All these kinds of things are possible for you as you see the sky playing out. It's going to be like the January 27th to February 1st that the first story is a maybe a very good pop in your reputation or your outreach to your audience, client, marketplace through something you're doing in the online world. And you get a nice little glow up there. Like maybe you post a video that goes viral. Maybe you get some success in your website. Maybe something good is happening there if you want it to. Some positive developments in and through younger siblings is possible. And also later on, older siblings. And finally, you also could say, maybe you want to learn something that brings you joy and pleasure, and you have this opening for an unexpected teacher teaching, acceptance to a class coming through your sky, especially again, January 27th to February the 1st, but then later, the happy surprise. That may involve your partner. Maybe your significant other has a happy surprise. Now, if you're trying to get pregnant, by the way, maybe January 27th to February 1st, you could get pregnant, or you could just have sex. And then you find out you're pregnant, you or your partner are pregnant. And that could happen if that is going to surprise you. Oh my God, the fertility goddess, you go on a trip, you get knocked up, or your partner gets knocked up, and you're happy because you've got a baby on the hopper. I mean, it sounds like really far-fetched, but that's a lot of what that can look like as well. And again, the surprise, happy surprise of pregnancy could look somewhere around February 7th. The Etruscan god of wealth is in your 11th house of good spirit, which brings its own kind of windfalls and pennies from heaven. And there's a very strong possibility that you may experience some kind of a lucky break financially here, but also maybe something to do with your partner having a lucky break in their finances, because your 7th house with Jupiter Uranus is about someone else in your life sometimes, not just about you. All right, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, it is going to be Venus traveling through your money house, your earnings, your possessions, your savings, January 23rd to February 16th. Now, you know, when she's here, she spends money often on pleasurable, leisurable. She's in refinement, right? She wants to buy the Chanel coat, the Alexa, what's the fancy car, the Rolls Royce or something. So you do have this energy of her refinement, and she wants to buy something, you're going to buy it. It's going to be the fancy high-end thing that you might want to purchase. Yeah. January 23rd to February 16th. But Mars also loves to spend. He's exalted here. So there could be quite a bit of spending going on January 23rd to February 16th. All right. Especially as we move towards Mars's visibility on the 27th of the month of January. And then you might be like looking to purchase something that's quite important to your work, perhaps, or to your health, because this activates your Jupiter and Uranus in your 6th house of health and work, although you could purchase a pet too if you want. And possibly on the 27th to February, 27th of January to February the 1st, you could have an opportunity to rent a property, like to lease out your property or to become a tenant in some other property. And if that rolls into your life, it brings you more abundance and your more financial solidity, as Venus can bring that to you in your 2nd house, and Saturn can help stick that landing. Now, the happy surprise on around the 7th of February is connected to something in your career and reputation space. You've got Orcus, the wealth and power god, up at the top of the sky, flowing to Venus in your earnings house, flowing to Uranus in your work house. A happy surprise to do with your work and your money coming through for a lot of you Sagittarius, not everybody. Most of you will have something good happen here on February 7th, give or take a day or two on either side. All right, Cappies. Capricorn, this is happening in the sign of you. It happens every year, sometimes twice a year. And here goes Venus wandering through January 23rd to February 16th, the house of you. Ideal for the haircut, wardrobe upgrade, facial rejuvenation, or well, just, you know, doing something to beautify yourself. You may feel more lovable, beautiful, more friendly, more popular than you normally do. And you may be indeed quite willing to upgrade your appearance in any way you want in a very refined and dignified manner. And a haircut would be an easy example, but a new wardrobe, that kind of stuff, new makeup if you're a woman or a man who wears makeup, you know, mani-pedi, whatever makes you happy. So this is happening for you guys on January 23rd to February 16th. It's good for the big ask. If you need to ask for something you really want, your charm offensive is over the top. So you can make the big ask in your professional matters, of your spouse, of your children. You get what you want most of the time during this window of January 23rd to February 16th. Because Venus is also going to early on January 27th through to about February 1st, flow to Jupiter in your house of your children. One of your children could say that they're pregnant, or you could get pregnant. So if you're a female, you could be pregnant because of this January 27th to February the 1st-ish transit. But also Saturn gets involved in that mini grand trine, and it could open up a travel opportunity for love, romance, pleasure, a travel opportunity that may involve a sibling, younger perhaps. Those things are very auspiciously there, January 27th through to January 27th through to February 1st-ish. Now, we do have a big happy surprise percolating for you. Oh, by the way, yeah, we'll keep going. if you're an entrepreneur, you may have some success in the online world and a boost of popularity as well during the 27th of February 1st. And if you have any projects that you've written, well, we'll get to the writing projects. Okay. So then on February 7th, the Orcus story comes into a big grand trine energy. Orcus is in the house of book publishing, foreign shores and foreigners, foreign places, foreign lands, academia, third marriages, things to do with your spiritual beliefs and religion. Now, Orcus up here is really often about wealth. This is a Lakshmi house. It can bring wealth and abundance in its own right. It's also a luck house. And so these are Indian terms, but they cross over easily to Western astrology. And so Orcus is flowing to Uranus, who's flowing to Venus. These are definitely lucky energies. Now, these are houses that are dharma houses. So your purpose, your meaning of your life, the right service and action in the world to fulfill your soul's highest calling. And so this is an energy that's opened up here for you. But on a very practical note, you could be getting some wealth blow up through a court or legal matter, through something to do with a travel opportunity or foreigner, or something to do with book publishing, or even academic environments like, universities and colleges. And it looks to me like it's just a very lucky time. With Jupiter in your fifth house with Uranus, you could definitely win some money here. You could be looking at, like, say, a lottery win or unexpected gain. And that could be also exciting. And it may be involving a foreign country. Maybe you win a lottery in a country that's not yours, or you win some money or through a connection to someone who's close to you, who's going to share their bounty with you. Hopefully I'm winning the lottery and sharing with my Capricorn anoretic sun man. That would be really great. And I kind of like this idea too, finally, that if you want to do something creative, or you want to, get your book published, so you submit it to a publishing house, this could be a wonderful time for that around February 7th, give or take a few days on either side. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign, the energy is this. Venus is in a very subtle place for you, us. I'm one of you. She's in our 12th house, and this is good for, first of all, it's good for getting a handle on addictions and self-undoing, pleasures that are over the top. It's also good for sexuality and romance and privacy things, and bed pleasures included. And you're finding pleasure alone, satisfaction and pleasure alone. Don't forget, this is January 23rd to February 16th. So your solitude and solace and aloneness can be very, very rewarding, January 23rd to February 16th. But at the same time, Venus is with a risen, visible, exalted Mars, and this is totally like the cosmic lovers. So and they're close enough that I say you might be having a really, really lovely time in your romantic sexual life if you need to or want to, if you have someone to be with, January 23rd to February 16th-ish. Now, here's the other cool thing. We can see that around January 27th to maybe February 1st, Venus flows to Jupiter in the house of property, homeland, and real estate. You may win some money to do with property, homeland, and real estate. Why did I say win money? I had a reason. Oh, because of Orcus in your 8th house. We'll get to that. Some chunks of money can come to you regarding things to do with home, property, and real estate. But also, you're just lucky in your home, right? Jupiter's there. Things you're doing in the home create bounty. Venus is in a house of revenue generated from PayPal, Stripe, or foreign countries and foreign lands. And Orcus is in the chunky money house. So in the beginning, January 27th to February the 1st, you just might have some kind of little stroke of financial increase. Saturn is stabilizing your money till 2026 February, and he gets in on the mix, and he tells, Venus, you're in my house. Bring this Aquarius person a little bit more financial goodness or opportunities from international companies or international sources or something like that. And Jupiter agrees and says, yeah, let's go for it. Now, possibly as well, you may change a food style. Saturn is helping you, quit the thing that you shouldn't put in your mouth, whatever that is, to ingest, right? Or smoke or whatever, and put in your face, really. And Saturn is stable and reliable. Venus is serious and focused in your 12th of undoing. So you may just be looking at a window of time, January 27th, where to February 1st, where you really are able to commit to some kind of cleanse or break from difficult substance abuse issues or dependencies, or just things that aren't that good for you to eat. I cheat on gluten and I shouldn't. So that's a good example. So some of us Aquarius will just stop cheating and be more healthy. Because don't forget, Venus is heading your way on the 23rd of the month of January, and you get to be super, super beautifully, powerfully, positively radiant and persuasive. So that's coming up for us Aquarians later on. On the 7th of February, we see that Venus will form a grand trine with Orcus in your 8th house of chunky money, Jupiter in your 4th house, and Venus in the 12th. I don't know, you could take possession of some financial win through a stock market investment, a tax rebate, a lottery win, perhaps, because it's how does that chunky money come at you? An inheritance or legacy wealth bit of money from either you or your spouse. So there's kind of an upgrade financially going on, but it's happy surprise. You didn't expect it necessarily, or if you expected, you didn't believe it was going to happen, or things like that. And Mercury, well, Mercury's with Pluto, right? Around this time, as we move towards that. And Mercury rules your house of gambling. So yeah, lottery tickets and wealth can definitely look like something that you're dealing with and experimenting with. I'm hoping for myself, sometime around February 7th. And, even if you win the money before that, that can indicate like taking possession of cash or things like that. Now, I don't want to say that we're all going to win the lottery. That's ridiculous, right? So other things that could be happening here is definitely some kind of financial resilience looking lucky and positive for you regarding your taxes, your longer term investments, your 401k, and getting a happy surprise. Like maybe you find out you think you want to sell your house, you find out it's worth way more than you thought. You tell your accountant what's going on is you paid way too much taxes. We're going to rebate you from last year's taxes. It's that kind of vibe, right? It's short, it's sweet, and it's lovely. Alrighty, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. Venus is moving January 23rd to February the 16th through your 10th house of reputation and career. So this is really good for getting raises, promotions, advancements, getting it the job you want. Exalted Mars is going to push for like strong action and power and drive to achieve career results, basically, January 23rd to February 16th. It's such a glow up in your career space. At the same time, Venus here is flowing around January 27th to February 1st to Jupiter in the house of your earnings. So again, raises, promotions, extra money coming through the career, ambition, direction, whatever you're doing, some lucky breaks in that area of work and career and money and resources and earnings. Also, she does talk to Saturn in your 12th house. So if you use PayPal, Stripe, payment processors, oh, wait a minute. What just happened? Why did I jump to Aries? Like, what just happened there? Oh, wasn't I on Pisces? Didn't I start with Aries? OMG. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Let's go back. I don't have time to edit this. Okay. I'll get my sister, though, to timestamp correctly. Give me a minute. It is, there we go. My keyboard's not working right now. I mean, it's doing weird, wacky things and advancing me way past what I've pushed down on my laptop and stuff. So I apologize for that. Let's get this done. By the way, I forgot to say, if you're in the live premiere, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to. And now we're going to do Pisces. Oh my gosh. Thanks, guys. Pisces. OMG. Here we go. Okay, guys. All right. Let's move into Pisces. Am I recording? Yes. Am I sharing? I believe so. Let me double check that. Am I recording? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. But I don't seem to be sharing the screen, so I don't know why. Okay. Open it up. That was weird. Okay, it's now sharing. Okay. So Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign. Venus is not moving through your career house. Ignore everything I said. I cannot edit this. I won't have time. And editing is really, really not my gig. So Nancy's timestamping will help us all. She's my sister timestamper. So what we have here is we have Pisces. And we have Venus. She exalts you, by the way. You have a special relationship with her. She's exalted in your sign, she's very powerful, very specially powerful. And she's moving through your house of good spirit, which is your 11th house, where you have friends and benefactors who treat you like a little sibling that they really want to help. Men and women, friends and allies, benefactors, and literally maybe older sibling as well, can be in your 11th house. So female older sibling maybe, but also with Mars exalted, not necessarily. Maybe just somebody who really likes you, who wants to support you and help you financially, perhaps in your career gains, can be an ally for you. And this is an energy that starts off, as I said, January 23rd to February the 16th, as Venus is trundling through Capricorn. And this happens on the yearly, if not twice a year, really. So it's wonderful energy every year. You can count on a glow up. And she flows to you, of course, because she's in a sextile to your ascendant. Now, it's going to be a nice little vibe here, January 27th to about February 1st, where in this house of good spirit, which includes your 11th house, windfalls, pennies from heaven, that can be a very lovely time for some unexpected financial bounty that helps stabilize your reality, Saturn in your first house, especially as it applies as well to her flow to Jupiter in the third house. Now, let me give you some ideas about what that can be. You may have some kind of opportunity from the local environment, neighbors, neighborhood environment, and it may help you have an unexpected financial abundance, right? Or some prosperity building up for you, coming through your sky. January 27th to February 1st. And it's a mini grand trine. So it can bring some money, luck, but third house matters because you're traveling, because you're journeying away from home, because you're in a place that is connected to new neighbors, or because you're doing something online. Like if you had a windfall, you bought an online ticket, for example, right? It was purchased online, for example. Third house is online stuff. And never know, maybe siblings younger and older or extended family members like cousins can be a part of how this bounty shows up for some of you. And you might have some, yeah, we're going to go with that. And then we move forward to the Orcus Grand Trine on February 7th, give or take a day or two on either side. And that's a really lovely, happy surprise or exhilarating surprise or, a scintillating energy of Uranus in your third house, which I've just outlined the meanings of, the fishbowl you swim in, your daily life. Adam Ellenbus calls it the fishbowl you swim in, and I love that idea. And connected to Venus, of course, in your 11th house of good spirit, which can bring windfalls, which can bring favors from friends and allies, flowing to Orcus in the house of marriage. Now, it's also your business partners that belong to the 7th house. Couple of thoughts here. You have an unexpected opportunity that delights you to appear in a public event like an online summit or a podcast, or you do appear already and things go super swell. But with Orcus in the 7th house, this is your significant person, right? And they're wealthy. They're Orcus. So it's possible that this luck that we're seeing influences you through a business partnership or a marriage type partnership, significant relationship, where you're experiencing this delightful, scintillating, happy, unexpected surprise. And while it is happening around February 7th, give or take maybe 3 days before and 2 days after, it also is something that's been building since the end of January into early February. And I would also say that a wealthy person could come into your life who's a client, an audience member, and bring you some unexpected, delightful surprise to do with maybe an opportunity for travel, an opportunity for a course that you wish to take. These are skills-based learning, third house, an opportunity, unexpected opportunity to wealth up through a course or teaching or learning opportunity as well. But it's a pretty sweet deal, whatever it is. I'm hoping, because my soulmate James is a Pisces rising, I'm hoping this is like me wealthing out because I won the lottery and I just share the money with them. All righty. So that's about it, Pisces, sun, moon, and rising, and everybody else who I've already talked about before. And it's going to be exciting when Venus goes into your 12th house, right? She's going to join Mars, Pluto, and Mercury. So please like and subscribe, because that's going to be a big deal for you guys. It's going to definitely work magic on your money story. And so I can't wait to talk about that delineation when Venus gets into this part of the sky, February 16th, at 3 weeks. It's going to look so good on your finances. Okay. Thanks for listening. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell for notification. Thanks to all my regulars, Melissa Carey, Linda Calder, Herbal Empress, Ace of Spades, Stephen the Jupiterian, Jupiter 8, Michael Thrash, Linda Calder, Did I Say You, Misbehaving, L.A. Taylor, and more. Thank you for being a part of the crew, watching these live premieres with me and getting to know each other. And I take your astrology questions if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, anyone else is listening. I interact and dialogue with you as I replay the videos that I pre-recorded, and I'm in the live chat with you. Thanks all. Big hugs. Have a wonderful Venus and Capricorn transit.